I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but it seemed like flying or doing anything in the air right now is not safe. You know, just probably like 2 weeks ago, last week, we had that girl from Brazil that was bungee jumping or whatever, and her rope wasn't even attached, bro. They literally threw her over this bridge or whatever that she was on, and wasn't nothing even attached to her. Like literally just smack dab hit the ground. She ended up passing away. You got the situation that happened with Oliver Tree when the helicopters collided. Now we got this skydiving plane, bro, that was in Missouri, end up crashing and killing 12 people. I don't know what's going on with the air right now. Is it what is the eyes that all of these, and it seemed like when a plane crash happens, it seems like more plane crashes or shit that's happening within the sky comes out days later, and that's exactly what's going on right now. I ain't gonna say too much, family. Check this video out.
On the tragic plane crash that happened in our area over the weekend. 11 skydivers and their pilot died after the plane went down just minutes after takeoff in Butler, Missouri.
Federal investigators are on scene trying to piece together just what led up to that crash. Now, it happened yesterday morning about 65 miles south of Kansas City. KCTV5's Maya Engel has been at the scene all morning long. And Maya, what's happening right now?
Yeah, board is here behind me on North Orange Street. What went wrong? We were taking off from Butler Memorial Airport.
All right, we'll go ahead and bring it back here to the studio. Here's what the federal investigators arrived to this morning. Now, there's not much left of the Pacific Aerospace P-750, just some pieces of metal twisted and exposed there out on the ground. About 24 hours ago, Bailey Reed happened to witness that crash with her kids. Now, she says the plane was so low she thought it was a crop duster, and she says no one on board would have had time to deploy their parachutes and jump.
The plane was so low and going so fast towards the ground. When they hit, the plane exploded itself. The ground and trees around it exploded, and it just lit up in flames.
You knew
there was nothing that I could stop and do. And as a mom, I knew I just didn't want my kids to see that situation. So 911 was called, and I continued driving.
The former chair of the NTSB says that investigation is now going to be focusing on pilot training and FAA oversight. The FAA also saying it was not providing air traffic control services when the plane went down, and that preliminary report is expected within 30 days. That final report, though, could take up to 2 years. Yeah. And there was another incident just a couple of years ago, you might recall, at Butler Memorial Airport. In 2024, 7 people had to jump from a plane after it was damaged mid-flight. Everyone made it out okay.
And we'll continue to cover the story and bring you the latest here on air and online at KCTV5.com.
Yeah, Jackson, we do know that family members have been showing up to the scene throughout the day. We have heard more about some of the skydivers that were on the plane. And I'll step out of the way so you can see back here. The Bates County Sheriff still has this Business Loop 49 closed near the Butler Memorial Airport. Back to those skydivers, 9 of them were experienced here. This was a company called Skydive KC, taking off quite often here from this airport and having folks skydive here. 9 experienced skydivers, 2 tandem jumpers, and 1 pilot on the plane. 12 people confirmed dead by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. We do understand that there was a wife and a sister who were watching their loved one go up into the air when they actually witnessed the crash. And we do understand from the airport emergency manager, the airport director, who's also the county's emergency manager, he said that the wife was supposed to be on the plane, but at the last minute, the flight's manifest changed somehow. We do know that the American Red Cross is here on scene. They're actually notifying family members, and family members are showing up to an electric co-op that is just to the south of the airport here. The NTSB and the FAA will also be on scene. We do know the NTSB is actually on scene right now, and we're expecting a briefing coming up tomorrow morning from the NTSB. That's according to the Missouri State Highway Patrol. So again, 12 people who have died here at Bates County, Missouri at the Butler Memorial Airport in a skydiving accident just past 11:30 this morning. Jackson.
All right, Matt, thank you.
Sad, bro. 12 people passed away. That's sad, man. I don't know what's going on when it comes to this air control and this aircraft and these helicopters colliding and pilots crashing these planes and shit and people bungee jumping and it's not going right. It just shows, bro, that the sky can low key be your enemy too. You know, one of the things I always told myself, you know, human nature is beautiful, but sometimes it can be dangerous. And sometimes it's not always meant to be a playground, you feel me, for you to play in. Especially, you know, when it comes to the skies and, you know, jumping out the sky and bungee jumping and skydiving and shit like that, bro. I always made sure that I was one of those people that I'm just not, that's not something I'm gonna play with, bro. You know, unfortunately, I almost died on a roller coaster when I was younger, and I don't even do roller coaster or those type of things anymore due to that reasoning, bro. Some shit I'm not gonna risk. I'm not gonna play with my life, bro. And I feel like I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I was telling them, you know, even getting on a plane every day is a risk because you don't ever know how this can go. You don't ever know if you're gonna, you know, survive this flight. You don't traveling when you're famous, bro. And I feel like that's one thing I'm gonna hate when I make it, right? And I gotta travel to events and things like that. I'm gonna hate constantly getting on planes because I know that, you know, something can go wrong at any given moment, bro. It's a risk. Messing with the sky is a risk regardless. And it's a sad situation that happened in Kansas, Missouri, man. Um, Prayers and condolences go out to the family of the victims, you know, who lost their lives in the plane crash. You know, that witness said the plane was so low to the ground and going so fast, it didn't even give them enough time to, you know, deploy their parachutes or things of that nature. And, you know, obviously the police is still investigating to see what caused this or what exactly went wrong. My question is, I wonder why was the pilot so close to the ground? Why was he flying so low? And then prior before that, they had another plane crash, you know, that 7 people had to jump from, you know, that was lucky enough to escape from that situation. And now, you know, 2 years later, you got this plane crash where 12 people lost their life. So it's sad, bro. It's sad all around. And I'm gonna continue to update you guys on this story if I hear anything else about it, especially if the police investigate and see exactly what happened with this plane and why it was driving so low or what even caused it to crash. Was one of them things, one of the fins was messed up? Was it a bad engine, low fuel? What happened, you know? And we're gonna get to the bottom of that, family, and y'all be the first ones to know. That being said, man, make sure you hype your boy up. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. Like and comment. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. You already know what we like to do in the comments and talk about these situations that be going on. We're gonna keep the reaction videos coming, man. I ain't gonna say too much because I feel like I said too much already. Peace to love, my boy DJ. I'm out of here.